She's ready.
Good morning. I'm going to stand up because I hope my voice will come out that way a little bit better. My name is Mary Fisher. This is Claire Hagan, our president of Buchanan Scarecrow Charities. I'm going to give you a little bit of history of our organization, and then Claire will take it.
I'll go through the process.
Yeah, she'll go through the process. I see we have a lot of Scarecrow ladies today and past Scarecrow ladies, so it's good to see your faces. The Scarecrow started at the Art Center in 2007. And at that time, I had just moved up from South Bend, and I planned to retire with my husband, and I planned to paint and read. And then I found the Art Center in Buchanan. And I met Carol Hedstrom there. We joined the Art Center the very same day and became good friends. The Art Center was only a year or two old at that time, and they were desperate for, not desperate, but they needed money, as all nonprofits do. And Carol and I wanted to help. And when I lived in South Bend for about 30 years, I ran a pumpkin sale in the fall. I ran it for 6 weeks, and I bought them from Vite out here, which is sort of funny. Comes full circle. But I would sell about 30 ton of pumpkin a season. And I painted pumpkins. That's before all of this Halloween stuff started. So anyway, I wanted to decorate the yard that we had, and I started making a scarecrow. And everybody wanted to buy it. I got it just for decoration. So the next year, we made some more, and every year we made more. That's how I started with the scarecrows. And of course, every year I streamlined it. You know, what didn't work one year, then I changed maybe the head or what I stuffed it with or whatever. So anyway, when we came up here, I knew people loved scarecrows, and it was toward fall, so I talked to Carol about having a scarecrow workshop. And, you know, people could come and make their own scarecrow. And so we did that. And we thought we needed to advertise it, so I can't remember who it was, suggested that we make some scarecrows and put them downtown and sell them to the businesses, and it would advertise our workshop. Excuse me. So we made 40 scarecrows, large ones, full size. And we had our workshop. And the workshop brought in $800. Well, that was just fantastic. So we thought we would do it again next year. And the people loved the scarecrows downtown. So we thought, well, we'll do that again next year. And you can see what it has led to. We started out with 4 people, and which was Darlene Clevenger, which you probably know, and Mary Vincent, who lives on Buffalo Road, and Carol Hedstrom and myself. And the next year we had Anne Marie and Janet Franklin. So each year we keep getting some, more people. And this year, with our new building, we really have gotten some wonderful volunteers. Okay, so we kept thinking, this isn't going to last. People are going to get tired of it. The wave has hit. And it hasn't happened. And I think one of the reasons it hasn't happened is, and the beauty of Carol and my relationship was what we do with the scarecrows. It isn't the typical scarecrow. And Carol is responsible for a lot of that because she had gone on a trip to Canada. And she went through this town that had scarecrows, and they were riding bicycles and hanging upside down by their knees and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. So that's what she wanted to do. So the beauty of our relationship was I knew how to construct them. Carol knew how to pose them. And I think that's one of the reasons that it has maybe continued on is the charm of the scarecrow makes you smile. Trying to think of what else there might be. As time went on, and we kept getting bigger and adding more volunteers, which was wonderful, we were getting volunteers that didn't even belong to the Art Center and hadn't even set foot in it. And we saw that there were other needs in the community that we would like to address. So in 2013, we formed our own nonprofit organization, which allowed us to give money to any place in the Buchanan we wanted to. We do stay within the Buchanan community, all of our monies. And this will help you see where we give our money. So anyway, we formed the nonprofit in 2013, and it just has continued to grow, and I don't see that it's going to fade anytime soon. And I have to say that every year we find something to do new, something better. For instance, this year, Eleanor, who is one of our chief stuffers, discovered that if we want to bend a knee or an elbow, instead of putting the straw in, which makes it very stiff, put a little fiber fill in the elbow or the bend, and it'll bend. So every year we find something different. Every year I don't think that we can make better scarecrows, but we do. We have some women that are so creative.
Amazing.
That it's just amazing what they come up with. In fact, I couldn't do it. Trying to think of anything else on the, I guess I better say this. In the past, we had to rely on the community to give us a place to work. And they would give us an empty store space or something, and then they would rent it, so we would have to move. And I don't know how many times we moved.
6.
7th
location.
Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you. Well, I should back up and tell you that originally we were in the basement of my house. I forgot to tell you that. I have a non-finished basement, and when my kids saw the straw coming into the basement, they weren't too happy. But anyway, that's where we, and Leanne knows that. She was there making scarecrows in the basement. Then we went into the storefronts, and as Eleanor said, we had to move 6 times, and each year we're older, and for us to move was just quite an operation. Anyway, Harding's, we were in Harding's the last time, and they were going to do something with their building, so we had to get out. And we were fortunate enough, there's to get an endowment for a building. And it's from my younger son and myself, and we built the building on Carroll Street, down the road here, for scarecrows, so we could have our permanent home, which is just what, the space is just wonderful. And Claire designed the inside, so it's very workable for all of us. And then a third of the building is for the robotics team. 2/3 is for us. Is there anything else you can think of? You have any questions about the history part of it? I have a list here of what we've given in the past, and not exactly who to, but some of the places that we have donated. Oh yes, and I am so proud. It's more now, but you can see we have given $126,000 back to the Buchanan community. So that's it's more now.
Yeah, yeah.
But that makes us very proud.
Of the money we collect, we give back, I'm not sure now that we have a building, but it's somewhere between 90 and 95% of our money goes back. Our expenses are very low.
Minimum.
And no salaries.
No salaries. We just work because we're crazy.
And I always bring this up, one of the benefits of this group of ladies, some men, is the friendships we formed and the fun that we have.
Oh.
If you come in while we're working, it's just a little buzz, 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 and laughter, and buzz, 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 and laughter. It's a wonderful time. And if you're sort of down and you get up, I got scarecrows today, and so I go to scarecrows, and by the time I leave, we're all smiles. Yeah.
And where can you find, say, 20 women together and all getting along?
Yeah.
No egos, no
egos, yeah.
No drama queens.
No, it's really, we are blessed, I will say it.
So is Buchanan.
Pardon me?
So is Buchanan.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
That means I have to stand up.
Yeah.
My knees don't like that. I would like to echo what Mary just said about the friendship, the acceptance. I came into the group as someone new to the community, and I was completely accepted right away. I became a part of everything. And the only reason I was willing to accept the presidency was that I knew I'd get all the help I needed. If I need something done, if I need somebody to build something, whatever, they're right there. I don't ever have to ask twice. It's amazing. I can't seem to control the meetings, but that's me. Things get away from me.
That's true.
I'm going to take you through our process, and then if you have questions, we'll answer them if we can. All our scarecrows start out with a skeleton and a head. And the heads are cut, painted, and then sewn and stuffed over the winter. And then when we're ready to start construction, the stuffers put the head on the frame and they put their little shoulders on. And these are the small size scarecrows. It's easier for me to carry them around. The big ones are like this, and I can carry them, but I didn't want to do it today. So they start out like this. Every scarecrow needs bib overalls and a shirt. Which is then stuffed with straw. And once they're stuffed, you see them laid out on the table, and it looks a little strange. They're all there, kind of empty, and they fill them full of straw, and it turns into this. And then we've got the building divided into thirds, the big, what I call the big room. And the stuffers bring them over into the middle area, and we've got racks for scarecrows that are at this stage. And then the embellishers will pick up a scarecrow, take it back to their station, and create a new person out of it, hopefully. But, so everyone starts like this. Occasionally we need another outfit over this to turn it into something special. And the stuffers will put that shirt on, or whatever the outfit is, and then stuff it all as a unit. It's much easier than trying to dress them when they're in this stage. Their little arms don't move very well. We've already spread straw. We have straw everywhere. And then once we get them embellished, they turn into people. And all of the embellishing equipment, this one doesn't have any extra clothes, but all of this is around the back third of the building. We have all the hats hanging, all the purses, all the scarves. We've got flowers out so that you can see them. We've got shelves with all of the pieces that give it personality. So that as an embellisher, you can look around and say, okay, what do I need for this? Some of us start out knowing ahead of time what we're gonna make. Some of us look at them and say, what are you going to be? It just depends. Sometimes the face, because even though each face is the same, once you get done, they have a little difference to them, and they'll inspire you to do something else. And then once they are in this stage, now this size are for our sale in the fall, but the big ones will go into what we call photo booth. They get a number, they get their picture taken, and then they go into our garage, our storage area, and they get put away. We are now at 240 for this year. Yeah, I didn't think we'd make it because we started late. Normally we start in January. Well, we start construction in late February, early March. We were able to do the faces, and Eleanor took the frames home and attached the heads to the frames, but we couldn't get into the building to actually start stuffing and embellishing until April. So we've been working like crazy to get that far.
Do the businesses, can they choose what
Yes.
they want?
Thank you. Well, what we have a sales lady, and she takes the photographs around to our customers, and they get to pick from the book of pictures, and as she sells it, she marks it sold. So she'll contact everybody, and the people who wait to get back to her don't have as much choice.
That's
In a few cases, we'll build things that are indicative of their business. We try not to do that because you'll wind up with, like, for lawn services, they all look alike. We try to create unusual people. And we have big displays. I think you all know them, by what we call the wall, the corner of Front and Redbud. That's our secret every year. I won't tell. And then we have something in Harger Park where we have something that's sort of kid-sized, like this size.
That's
And,
pretty
and the kids can walk around and look at them face to face. You know, it's a nice place to take pictures of your kids, your grandkids with the scarecrows. That one this year is a dog show, which will be adorable. Then we put a display at the post office, and it's usually sponsored by the school. And we try to do something that's indicative of the school. Last year we did Hannah Roberts, our Olympic medalist. This year, because of the 150th anniversary, we have characters that are dressed from, I think they're in 20-year increments. I did not do that one, but it's amazing. You look at them, you know without any clue what era they were at. The 70s with the bell bottoms, you know, it's just wonderful. And Mary painted us a picture of the school, the high school. And then in the gazebo, we usually have a little display. This year it is the Golden Girls in honor of Betty White. And I've never seen anything that looked that good. It is amazing.
Oh, and I love the clothes. I hated to put them on a scarecrow.
Yes, sometimes we have trouble picking up the clothes. There's one silk pants outfit in there that if it wasn't too big for me, I'd take it.
The Beatles were, that was a really
Oh, yeah.
good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
The Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, the Yellow Submarine.
We did that. You know, something.
Yeah.
It's really fun to have all the ideas come in and everybody kind of contributes and the creative process feeds off each other.
Yeah, it does.
That is one of the most amazing parts of it. Somebody will come in and say, this is what, I want to do. And you get all these suggestions from ladies. Oh, what about, let's do that. Well, I'll do this and I'll do that.
Right.
It's a joint effort. It's really amazing.
Yeah,
But that creative process, we have some laughs and you might come up with something, no, we can't do that.
That's inappropriate.
But I'm one of the stuffers, and we like working around, together. We can all see each other, and you'll come up and say, well, this needs something. What do I need? Or somebody will say, did you see this scarf, this necklace, this belt? And, oh, well, that'll work great. Or
My favorite has to do with Anne Marie, and I tell this story a lot of times. Anne Marie came up to me one time and she had a hat in her hand. And she said, what do you think of this? And I said, it looks English. And she said, what do you think of Henry the Eighth? Well, she did Henry the Eighth and Anne Boleyn.
Yeah.
The display went into the library. The head, we didn't want to be gory for the kids. And we happened to have, amongst our group, a lady whose daughter had gone to school for costume design. And she did Anne Boleyn's head in the period. And so she's holding this head, but it's very tasteful. But my point,
No fun.
that was no fun, yeah. It's one of my favorite displays that started with a hat. That's my point, is that's how things start.
I think I've never seen a fundraiser that is fundraising idea that is so creative. The first time I drove through town after the scarecrows went up, it was before I lived here. We bought the house and we didn't close until after the scarecrows went up. I almost killed myself.
Looking at them.
That's right,
Yeah.
yeah. That was the year, the water department was coming up out of the sewer.
Oh, yeah.
If I had not, already decided to live in Buchanan, that would have been a motivating factor. To live in a community that was that creative. That's another thing we have done. We now have rag cards and we distribute them around the area. They are, it's sort of like come and do the scarecrow trail. It's encouraging people to come in and view the scarecrows and have lunch in town, look at the businesses, just kind of as a promotion for Buchanan.
I have a cute story, the Tesla cars. I have a friend who has a Tesla, and they see the scarecrows, and the car automatically slows down because they it has some kind of warning or something.
Well, one time the police department called us and said, would you please remove the scarecrow at the corner of, what it was, a Days in front?
Yeah.
And we said, well, why? And they said, well, you know, our scarecrow was a mother, and she had a stroller, and she was holding a baby, whatever. And so we thought, well, we'll just turn her, whatever. Well, that didn't work. So they said, please, the people are waiting for her to cry.
Yes. Yeah, but the year we had a scarecrow for the paper, he was a gentleman, and he was standing at the corner of Main and Redbud. And my husband was driving, and the car in front of him stopped, and the guy kept waving. Do we have any questions?
When do you guys meet and how?
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you. We meet every Tuesday. Our official hours are 10 to 2. We, usually somebody's there by 9. Usually it's me. And if you're interested in coming, I'm working, come. If you're just interested in a tour, come. There's always somebody there on Tuesdays from 10 to 2. We'll walk you through, sign you up if you want. We also take donations. We have a deck box by our door. Do you all know where our building is? It's across the street from the old Electro Voice
Down by the baseball
property.
fields.
That's right.
Yeah. We used to be a parking lot.
Yeah, that's right.
We used to be a parking lot. Now we're a building.
Yeah.
But if you see cars, we're there. You can knock on the door and come visit. If you have something you think we might be able to use, put it in the deck box. We don't always use everything, but we're grateful for anything we get. If we can't use it, we can usually pass it on to somebody who can.
What happens after?
Oh, yes.
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 Afterward.
Party.
Yeah, our stripping party. Yeah. That's what we call it. All the scarecrows, the big scarecrows, if the business wants it, they may keep it. It's theirs. If they don't want it, we take them back. We have a member who has a farm, and we bring them back to her farm. We take their clothes off, right out in public. And all the straw gets taken to the back of her property and gets burned. We take off anything that we can reuse, and that gets gathered together and brought back to the building. We unstuff the heads, take the heads off, unstuff them, we save the stuffing. Usually the faces are pretty well shot by the time we bring them in. The frames we reuse. And the clothes, the laundry here in town washes them for us, folds them. And this year, because we didn't have a home, at that point in the fall, we were out of the place we had been working. All our stuff was in two pod things, and one of our members had a couple of outbuildings, so we had stuff that was out there. We had no place to put anything. Those pods were full.
We were homeless.
Yeah, he kept the clothes for us until we were in our building.
If you're ever at the, I go to the laundromat sometimes, if you're ever in there, thank him.
Oh, yes.
He's a nice young man.
Yeah, now we do give him a scarecrow, but the value of that scarecrow does not make up for what he does.
I bring pepperoni
For the dog.
Rocco. I think it'd be a Rottweiler, Rocco. Just a little
Let me add, with this stripping party, the heads have fiberfill in.
Yes.
And the reason they have fiberfill is if we put straw in, when they get wet in the weather, all the dirt comes out and the faces get real ugly. So the head has fiberfill, and we recycle that. We recycle everything that we can, that we possibly
That's how we're able to keep our costs so low.
Yeah.
Now, we have discovered that we were getting streaks on the faces, and after they're up, we go around, everybody gets a block, and we maintain them. You know, if their faces need to be clean, if they need to be repositioned, straightened up, whatever. I was out there cleaning faces one day, and a lady came and she couldn't figure out what I was doing. She thought maybe I was talking to the scarecrow. And I was having trouble because the sun was in my eyes, so I'm kind of like this, trying to clean his face. But we, once they're up, it's not over. We have to keep them up, keep them maintained. And we now spray their faces with a waterproofer to help
keep them clean.
Are the faces hand painted?
Yeah, every one of them.
We do have a pattern, and then they're hand painted. We've gotten really fast.
We call this our signature face.
Yes.
I like it because it's not scary. We like to think of this as a family-oriented type of thing, and we just like the face.
Yeah. With
So,
rare occasion, we will change the mouth.
yeah,
We've
like
got
the
two-
carolers.
We've got, like the carolers.
Mhm.
We've got 2 this year that have open mouth, indicating fright, terror, yes. But mostly they're this face, and even the ones where we change the mouth, we don't change the eyes. And
Well,
the
but
eyes are,
sometimes they're looking up, sometimes
Well,
down.
yes.
And occasionally we do brown eyes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
but the basic eye is, we're getting, see, these 2 are down.
This one's up.
It's just, it gets boring doing the same thing. And they're cuter if there's a little variety. Question?
Where do you get all the clothing and accessories?
The clothing, they're donated. Well, occasionally we buy bibs.
One year, Walmart had bibs. I forget how that worked. You remember?
Probably 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah,
It was before I was part of the group.
Okay, and they were, I'm thinking they were $5 a piece or $4 or something. And
They're like for teens.
Teens,
They're
yes.
very slim.
yeah,
And they probably didn't
Sell, that's what I'm thinking, yeah. Well, anyway, my husband and I went to all the Walmarts, Ireland Road and Grape Road and 11th Street, and bought all of the bibs. So we still have some of those. And the other thing, we never get rid of a bib unless it really is in bad shape, because there's always something we can do with it. Let's say it's all faded or has paint on it or something. We still use it because very often we put other clothes
Yeah,
over.
we cover it completely.
The purpose of the bib is to keep the straw in.
That's like the skin of
Keep
a
it
person.
separated. Doesn't have a waistline.
Yeah.
We pull apart.
But donations, Goodwill, although Goodwill's getting expensive.
Yeah.
um,
We have members who go to Texas for the winter, and they hit all like resale shops around.
Yeah,
And even the sheets or the faces come from sheets. And we have one of our members goes to various hotels. She was babysitting for her son's dogs in Battle Creek last year, and she hit a whole bunch of the hotels there. And she tells them what we do and asks if they have sheets that they're getting rid of. And it may have a big stain on it. They can't put it on a bed, but we can cut around the area where the stain is.
and she got a lot of sheets.
Nice, heavyweight,
Like from a red roof.
yeah.
Red roof, yeah.
We get a little fussy about our sheets. Some of them don't take paint. Some of them have been so used that they practically shred.
Yeah.
But even those we can use when we make the hair. This hair is cut and tied and then glued onto a strip of sheet. And you either glue it onto the head or you glue it onto the hat, and that's personal preference and what you're trying to accomplish.
And I have to say that we glue it on the strip with liquid nails.
And we have hair parties where we put all our tables together, put the strip out, and everybody takes a section and puts hair on.
Well, yarn.
Yarn, yes, they're not hair.
And it's knotted, we put the knotted in the middle, so there's knots in the glue.
And that's another thing that someone who can't be in the building with straw can work on.
That brings up the point that not everybody is there all the time. The group works with what talents they have. We have 3 that do just the signs. That's their job. They just do the signs. One lady just sells.
Mm-hmm. And we have one lady who makes
The
the
frames.
frames for us.
And Lowe's donates all the wood.
Yeah, I don't know how she
Yeah.
did that, but it's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. So
Yeah.
each sort of has a talent. That makes it all work.
How many people is in the organization then at this time?
People, the number of people,
Yes.
our email list right now is about 44. Some of them we don't see at all for anything. Some of them are people who work outside
Mm-hmm.
our building. Some come when they can.
That's
We
good.
probably have 15 to 20 that come every Tuesday.
Nice.
That's not very many people for the amount of.
Some of us are in there, well, I was this year, because not only were we building, we were organizing.
Yeah.
And so I usually am in there 4 to 5 days a week, not all day, a couple hours. It's just, okay, well, I'm going over to the factory for a while. And then we've got one gal in the embellishers who retired, but she doesn't like being at home. And we're her retirement. And she's there 4 mornings a week embellishing. She's amazing. Her mind is unbelievable. She's so creative.
Remember when she started, she was so quiet.
Yeah.
She kind of said,
Yeah, well.
Well, if she come along, you bring in some new clothes and she'll see something, she'll, oh my God!
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with
Yes,
this.
all the embellishers all have this little hoard under their tables of stuff. This is mine, and I maintain a set of drawers that's got things we use: tape, needles, threads, pins, and so people come and go in my drawers. That doesn't sound right. But, you know, it's, the drawer is there for everybody. And one of our gals was looking for something and she discovered a pair of glasses. Great big Coke bottle style glasses that I'd been hoarding for a while. She said, "Can I use those?" I said yes, because I haven't gotten anywhere with my idea, so go ahead, I'll use them next year. But, and then if you see something that they're working on and you say, "Hey, did you see this? It might work with that." So even though we hoard, we share.
And they're constantly laughing over there. These stuffers are over there. Hey, you're having too much fun over there. Stop that.
I don't know, you guys laugh over there too. That it is.
Yeah,
It's,
but not like all of you back there.
yes, we are. And we give each other a pretty hard time. And everybody started out kind of quiet until we got used to each other. Anything else? No? Grace?
If we bring our own hat, just remember the days when we used to wear hats all the time?
Yes.
I have a hat at home. If I bring one to you, can you fix me up with a scarecrow?
This size, we don't sell the great big ones to individuals.
That size.
Yes, this size, you can come to our workshops. We have, I think on the little handout, the little one gives the dates. There is September 22nd and 24th, and the Senior Center
Yes.
is having a workshop. Just for the Senior Center.
Just for the senior center. It's since I don't have the date in front of me, but
I
it's,
don't either, and
it'll be in the September newsletter. It'd be limited, so when you get that newsletter, call ASAP to reserve your space.
And you can bring if you want that on your scarecrow, bring it with you.
That brings up a point, when you're talking about the workshops. The way we make money is we sell the scarecrows to the businesses in return for a sign and 2 months advertising within the community. We have workshops where we have people that come and make their own scarecrow, stuff it and so on. We have crafts.
We have a scarecrow gnome and craft sale in September the 17th, I believe, this year. And they'll be this size, and the gnomes are about this size. Those are all finished, complete. If you don't want to make one, you can come and buy one. And then
We have a garage sale too.
we have a garage sale. And those are the ways and donations, of course. We do have, occasionally we have groups that come and ask us to do a workshop. We have a small garden club coming this September. I think it's only 8 or 10 people. They're having a private workshop. If you let us know ahead of time, we can usually work that kind of a thing out. And we have one that's in the evening because sometimes people can't come on the weekend. Either they work, the kids have sporting events, whatever. A lot of people like to bring their kids. for grandkids to build a scarecrow.
This year for our workshops, we have 3 people coming from Knightstown, Indiana.
Oh, really?
Yes. I got a phone call from a lady in Knightstown a year ago, and she was interested in doing this in her hometown. And just yesterday, I got a phone call from her, and she and a group are busy making scarecrows, and she wanted to know how to attach the hat. So I told her how to attach the hat, but anyway, she said, when are you going to have your workshops? We want to come, and so she has 3 spots in the workshops, on the Saturday workshop.
We have a new member this year who's coming from New Buffalo. I guess she and a friend used to come through town to see the scarecrows, and she started following us on Facebook and decided she wanted to participate. She's there every single Tuesday, and she is so creative. Henry.
I would just like to, express our thanks to the community who have, make our work all worthwhile. When we see you walking the streets, taking pictures,
Yeah.
being there, when we're hanging the scarecrows, and people
Yes.
go by
Oh.
and say, woo, we love you, scarecrow
Yeah.
ladies, or whatever.
Yeah.
So it makes us feel really good. Thank you.
Yes. We have 2 photo op displays this year, so you can bring yourself or your grandkids or your family in, take a picture with the scarecrow. Okay? Thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.